Same scenario, except the agent does not leave the assistant. The open house gets quite crowded, and the assistant runs out of flyers to hand out. The agent is busy with other potential buyers, and the assistant is asked about the sales price of the home. The assistant knows the price of the home because they have handed out flyers all day which have the sales price on them. If the assistant tells them the sales price, the assistant would simply be repeating information which was present on the flyers which had been written by the licensee. May the assistant answer the question? The answer is no. The assistant's role in disseminating information is limited to handing out flyers. Verbally communicating information contained on the flyer is against the rule and is not an acceptable act by an individual without a license. We are concerned with the actions of an unlicensed individual because of the duty and responsibilities licensees have to represent their clients. We will discuss the importance of agency relationships in another course. For now, suffice it to say that the relationship between the agent and those they represent is extremely important. Only those licensed should participate in any activity which has the potential of harming a client if done incorrectly. You may be asking what harm could possibly come from an unlicensed assistant telling a potential buyer the sales price of a property? Perhaps none. However, what happens when the prospective buyer then asks another question and another until the assistant answers incorrectly? The line must be drawn somewhere, and the rules contain the placement of the line. An unlicensed assistant may also act as a courier for documents, keys, and other items as long as the role is limited to delivering the items and not discussing the items. If an unlicensed assistant were to take a contract to a buyer for a signature, the assistant could deliver the document and pick it up. What should the assistant do if the client has a question regarding the document? The assistant should not answer any questions regarding the document. All questions should be referred to the licensee. This is still true even if the assistant really knows the answer to the question. Assistants may also perform duties such as placing signs on properties, getting keys made for properties, and doing research at entities such as the recorder's offices, sewer districts, water districts, or zoning offices. Now that we know what an unlicensed assistant may and may not do, let's discuss how they should be compensated. A licensee's first choice may be to simply share in whatever income is earned by the agent. This way, the agent only has to pay the assistant when the agent gets paid. This is referred to as splitting commission and is not allowed between a licensee and an unlicensed individual. An unlicensed assistant's compensation must be made at a predetermined rate. The compensation must not be dependent upon the occurrence of real estate transactions. For an example, an agent could say that they are going to pay their assistant an hourly rate for each hour worked. The agent must pay the assistant whether or not any real estate deals being handled by the agent are scheduled to close or are completed. The agent and assistant could also agree to a monthly salary for the assistant. Again, the monthly salary must be paid regardless of what happens with the deals in which the agent or licensee is involved. What if the agent wants to give the assistant a year-end bonus, as long as it is not contingent upon the closing of any certain transaction or number of transactions? The rules are silent regarding whether or not the assistant must be an employee of the brokerage or they may be an employee of the licensee directly. Since the rule and the statute are silent, such details of the employment arrangement should be negotiated among the parties. Would it ever be possible to give an assistant a percentage of all the commissions earned by the agent? There is a way to accomplish this and stay within the rules and regulations. If the assistant obtained a license, they may receive a percentage of all commissions earned by the licensee or agent. In this case, are the details regarding the actual employer of the assistant still irrelevant? If the assistant is licensed and is compensated based upon the amount of commissions earned by the boss, the assistant must be paid by the principal broker with whom the assistant and the boss are affiliated. Remember, all compensation must be paid through the principal broker.